Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again. Yeah, it's been a while, right? You probably are thinking, well, what happened to these guys? It's been a long time since last time I saw this show. And yeah, it's true. It's been a long time. We've spent the whole summer without doing this. Why? Well, let me think about it. First of all, we took a little break, We all deserve a break. But also, and more importantly, we've been working and working very hard to bring you a better experience, to bring you more stuff. We're working in new things that we're going to be releasing during this fall, hopefully. Before I forget, Guitar Chat is brought to you by Vegatrem, the best tremolo systems in the world for sure. And if you are here, it's because you are already a friend. But if you, besides a friend, you want to be part of our family, it's pretty easy. And you have to do it right now, at this moment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Make sure you do it right now. And you hit like to our videos and you leave some comments as well. Because being part of this family has its perks, okay? We are doing a giveaway. We have this very, very cool swag right now, these t-shirts. And if you leave a comment in our videos and if you leave a like, you are gonna be eligible for our giveaway. We are giving away these t-shirts. They're very cool. They are, if you want to look as good as these guys, that's the only thing you have to do. It's pretty cool. We also have, as always, our discount code that we're gonna put here, right down here, at a certain point in the show. With that discount code, you can go to our website and buy a VT1 at a better price, a lower price. But also, the thing is, you can only use it once, but you can buy as many bridges as you want. You can use it for 1, you can use it for 5, you can use it even for 10 VT1s. There's no limit, but you can only use it once for one purchase. Okay, so there's that as well. Make sure you stay throughout the whole show because it can be at any moment. Okay, we can show that code at any moment. Also, we're gonna be giving away our VT1s as always, as we've been doing so far. But this time, it's gonna take you a little more work. But at the same time, it could be very nice. Check this out, and we'll talk about it later. If you play guitar and wanna be part of the Vegatrem family, listen to this. We are introducing the Vegatrem Challenge. Each month, we will propose a piece of music for you to play. It could be a lick, a phrase, a riff, etc. You will have to learn it and make it your own. You can use it in any way you want. You can change the tempo, you can change the fingering, change the key, change the harmony. We want you to be yourself. Each month we will announce a new Vegatrem challenge. Once you learn it, you can start making your video. Then follow these steps. Number 1, follow us on Instagram. Number 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Number 3, tag us on your video. Number 4, use the hashtag Vegatrem Challenge. Among all the participants, we will choose the best one, and the winner will have a brand new VT1 for their guitar. The name of the winner will be revealed on the first edition of each month on our podcast Guitar Chat. Are you ready? Well, don't miss this and grab your guitar. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the Vegatrem challenge. If you want to participate, just make sure you send us your videos, and we can choose you as the best Vegatrem challenge participant, and you're gonna get a VT1 completely free. We're gonna send it to your address, to your home, to your place. How cool is that? Yeah. Anyway, besides that, of course, we have our usual interviews. And today we have Mr. Thomas Polychuck, all the way from Montreal, Canada. We had a great conversation with him. He is such a badass. If you don't know him already, just make sure you follow him on Instagram, on YouTube, and all his social media outlets, because he's such a shredder. You know, he plays very, very well, and we enjoy his music a lot. So let's check out his interview. Here it is. Today, we proudly introduce, all the way from Montreal, Canada, Mr. Thomas Polychuck. He is one of the most impressive shredders we've met lately. His sound is always powerful and full of emotion. He's got an incredible technique and chops for days. Besides that, he's also an accomplished singer and songwriter. His music has elements from metal, progressive rock, pop, and even hip-hop. Don't miss this chat today with Mr. Thomas Polychuck. And welcome to Guitar Chat. I mean, Thomas Polychuck, man, we are big fans of yours here, man.
Oh, thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure. I'm glad that you guys reached out to me. I'm really honored by that. Especially your product is like for me, it's kind of like a luxury thing, you know. It's so like high quality. It's not something I would have thought about, and it's really cool. So I'm honored.
Man, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it, and we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you in the team, you know, in the family, because I mean you're shred, man, and it's we really enjoy, you know, your playing and your music and everything. We're gonna talk about that, of course, for sure. But it's a big pleasure for us, you know, all the way from Spain all the way to Canada. You're based in Canada, right?
Yeah, exactly. Canada, Quebec to be precise. Actually, Montreal, which is in the province of Quebec, so Montreal, Canada.
Okay, so is that the French-speaking part of the country? Oh, so you speak French as well?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. That's great, man.
Do you?
No, I don't. And we have friends right here, but I just don't speak French. It's very difficult for me, you know?
Spanish apparently is not too different. It's pretty similar. Spanish and French, they come from the same root. Apparently, I don't know.
It's true. They come from the same root, but the pronunciation is very, very different. That's the tricky part. But anyway, we wanna know you a little better. You know, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you started playing guitar, how you started being a musician? Do you come from a musician's background, or, by any chance?
Yes and no. So I started playing guitar at 7 years old, actually 6 years old. Yeah. My father was he liked, you know, prog music and, you know, singer-songwriter, Americana, but he was never a great musician. So, but he could play guitar, he could play some chords and stuff, and he really enjoyed playing the guitar. So apparently, I don't really remember, but back when I was a little kid, I was very interested in that. So he bought me at 6 years old, but that day I remember at 6 he bought me a guitar, which is a half scale little guitar for kids, and I really enjoyed it, and I've been playing since then. Yeah.
So you haven't stopped, right? You
never stopped. It's been 26 years. So yeah, and I tried to do the same thing with my 5-year-old son. He's not interested. For him, it's dinosaurs and little cars, so it's okay.
Well, just give him time. Give him time.
Yeah. I was very interested, and I could not leave the guitar. I was always trying to do things, and he taught me chords. I could play like an E minor, A minor, maybe a D chord, and I made songs with those chords. So
Oh,
yeah,
so you were already making songs when
yeah,
just with a couple of chords that you knew already?
yeah. I was trying stuff like different rhythms and stuff like that. Very simple. Obviously, I was 6 years old. I didn't have really big fingers, but yeah, and I never stopped.
Awesome. And did you write songs with lyrics and everything already when you were 6?
No, I kind of like it. It took a while for me to start like writing serious music and really, because like I said, I started at 6, and then all the way to like maybe at 11, 10, I was doing those things and those melodies. Really focused more on the music. I was never really the best writer as far as lyrics or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then at like 11, 12, I heard Metallica for the first time.
Okay.
And then I was like, I want an electric guitar. I want to play solos. And then they bought me an electric guitar from Costco. I don't know if you guys have Costco in Spain.
No, we don't, but I know what it is because I spent 7 years in Texas. So I
Okay, yeah, well, it's very American, and we have here in Canada too. We have it here. We're very close, so they bought me a cheap guitar from Costco, and then I learned how to shred, and it was the first time I heard like Kirk Hammett and the solos and all the down picking and all that stuff. So for a while, I was just doing that, and then maybe I would say in my like 20s, mid 20s, I started to want to write music and write my own songs and sing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great, man. So Metallica, they were the
Oh,
they
yeah,
were the driving force behind you
absolutely.
wanting to be a shredder and an
Yeah,
electric player and everything.
yeah.
Who else? Who else? I mean, I'm pretty sure you started listening to Metallica, but after that, who came after that?
So Metallica was like they opened the door for
Okay.
me. I heard an album which I still like to this day. The solos are amazing. It's Kill 'Em All. It's my favorite. It's the album that has my favorite solos,
Okay.
guitar solos. I just love the solos on Kill 'Em All. They're simple as far
Yeah.
as notes. It's all pentatonic, but it's well done. It's fast. It's clean. It's beautiful. So Metallica kind of opened the door to metal and all that stuff. And then obviously Iron Maiden. I discovered
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, which was a kind of another level above, if I may,
Uh-huh.
as far as like complexity.
Technical skills.
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
then the other one that really made me want to learn even more shred was like Children of Bodom. Alexi Laiho, who
Okay.
passed away, unfortunately.
That's right.
Rest in peace. I love that guy. Children of Bodom, Alexi Laiho. Yeah, he was like the one who I wanted to the one that made me want to learn alternate picking and all those more complex techniques and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but obviously all the other ones, the Steve Vai, Malmsteen, all these guys, they were somewhere I would, listen to them and want to play those things. But really, the main guy was really Alexi Laiho. I don't know if the shows am I playing, but yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I see that you were ever since the beginning when you picked up the electric guitar, you were very into the technique, as I can
Yeah.
see, because you're already telling me about pentatonic scales and alternate picking and everything.
Yeah.
So it was like that from the beginning. Did you start taking lessons with a teacher or something like that, or how did you develop your techniques?
So I was always kind of like, the reason why I was enjoying these things is because these things really impressed me as a kid. I was very like, wow, this is amazing. And I want to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had guitar lessons. So like I said, when I first picked up the guitar, which I was very young, my parents, they paid for lessons and stuff, but the teacher just showed me kind of like the basics of music and the chords and how to read music and all that stuff. But then the lessons, I did not take lessons for shredding. I just learned with VHS tapes and hot licks and the internet. YouTube didn't exist back then, so we didn't have YouTube.
Okay.
But we had Napster and
Oh
like
yeah.
LimeWire and stuff like that, and you could download, and I don't, I'm not saying it's right, that it was wrong to do that. It was not okay, but I did it
Don't
anyway.
worry. I understand. And especially when you're a kid, you don't have a lot of money. You know. I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't. Yeah, that's it. You don't. But and you don't know how much that could hurt artists. But back then
yes,
we didn't have Spotify, so now with
that's right.
Spotify, it's kind of it's a little bit better. Anyways, nothing's perfect, but anyways, I would download music and then open it in the softwares that I also had not paid for. The Audacity, SoundForge, and all these things. I would slow it down and
Yeah.
learn note by note by ear, and
Uh
then
huh.
speed it up and play it up to speed. So that's how I learned how to shred. We didn't really
Awesome.
have any videos. We had hot licks, the VHS tape, Paul Gilbert VHS tapes, and all those
Yeah.
things. Yeah, that's how I
But
learned again.
okay, but let me ask you something because I'm very curious as to how did you develop your alternate picking, because I think it's incredible. It's very very
Thank
good.
you. I appreciate it.
And I don't know. I mean, how much time? I know it's gonna be a difficult question to answer, but roughly how much time did you spend since you started practicing alternate picking till you got it kind of decent, like similar to those guys, to all those guys, till you could play it at the real speed. You know what I mean? How
Yeah,
much
I
time?
know what you mean. I would say so. So I got to tell you that back then I did not really know alternate picking. I did not know it was alternate picking. I didn't even know it had a name. I just knew
Okay.
there's a way I can play, and it sounds like this. It's really so. And I kind of learned it. I guess the first time I tried it was with those first solos I learned from Children of Bodom and Metallica and whatever.
Uh-huh.
So all I did was I practiced the solos so much that I became able to play them
Yeah.
with alternate picking. And we nowadays we have economy picking, we have like God, all these things that also existed. It's just that the information was not as
Yeah.
easily available. So now
That's
I teach these things as a teacher, but I had no idea. I didn't even know economy picking was a thing. I had no clue. I didn't even think about it. I was just alternating and just practicing. So I would say, maybe from age 11 to maybe I'd say like at 15, 16. So
okay.
maybe 4 years.
Uh-huh.
It's hard for me to tell because
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
hard for me to tell. Yeah.
Yeah. But back then, how many hours did you practice? Did you practice all day long, or?
Yeah. So I would come back from school, grab the guitar, not do my homework, and go to sleep very late, and wake up tired the next day. I put a lot more focus and emphasis on my guitar playing than on my school,
Yeah.
which I had to pay for it later because I had to finish my here in Canada it's high school.
High school.
I had to go back and finish it in my 20s, which I did, and I went to university and all. But
Uh-huh.
I was really, really into the guitar, and like I said, it took me years. But it's not like I went and practicing things, with a schedule or anything. I was just learning and absorbing all the songs and trying to play them clean and yeah. So it's hard to kind of quantify all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, but somehow it sounds familiar to me. You know that
Yeah,
thing about
yeah,
caring more about the guitar than the
yeah,
school and everything. Man, I think
yeah,
we all can relate to
yeah,
to that.
yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Which is okay.
Yeah.
Now that's what I do for a living. So, the guitar helped me more than the high school. But I still did it. But still.
Yeah, man, that's cool. That's awesome. Well, you have that, and I met you through the internet, through social media. I think the
Yeah.
first time I saw you was through Instagram, I think. Would you think that that's a big part of your development or your success as a musician, the social media nowadays?
Yeah. Yes, and for like two main reasons. And
Okay.
so the reason number one, I guess it's because I get off on social media. I'm there. It's, I can showcase my skill and try to also help people with tricks and whatever. So I really like it for that reason, and it helped me become a more successful as far as better known artist, because it's a platform that it has access to, or whatever. But another way it really helped me is with, I have to set a standard. Every time I record a video and I post it, there's a certain standard I have to reach. So I'm not going to post just random stuff. It's got to be clean and perfect. So
Yeah.
just by recording my videos, there's so many takes that I do, and it's sometimes it takes hours. So these hours, they all add up. They make me a better player. You know what I mean?
Yes, totally.
I started at the beginning of the pandemic posting regularly on TikTok and Instagram. And if I watch my videos from back then, they were still good. I still had been playing guitar for 24 years.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm better. I'm cleaner. I'm faster.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it helped me become a better musician. It also helped me discover new players that I didn't know about, and just watching them and studying them and makes me a better player. So it really helped. Yeah.
That's right. So of course, I mean, I think you have a commitment, right? It's like you take social media as your part of your job, right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
therefore you have to meet certain standards, right? And that's
Absolutely.
why you have to you care about that, and you have to make sure that the stuff that you post is good enough, right?
Yeah, it's good enough, because at the end of the day, it's what pays my bills.
That's right.
Indirectly, because I sell lessons, I teach people buy my courses and stuff. So it's got to be good.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, trust me, it's good enough. It's very good. It's pretty cool, and also I think it's very honest that you talk about all the takes that you have to go through and everything, because that's part of the musician's journey. I mean,
absolutely.
Because some people don't realize how many hours you have to spend to reach that level of proficiency and excellence, right? And that's cool that you say that.
There's a lot of people, and that makes me think of somebody who recently commented on one of my videos and said, what's the trick to do that? To do what you're doing? I said, try that way. And he responded and said, well, I tried, it doesn't work. But then I wanted to just say, well, but how many times did you try? It takes thousands and thousands and thousands of times.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So people have this misconception that there's a trick. Oh, okay, now I can do it. But there's really if you can call it a trick if you want, but there's no trick.
Yeah, that's right.
The trick is to do it more than once, like 1,000 times. So that's really all about it. And all the great musicians that you see on Instagram and social media, they have practiced a lot more than you think sometimes. So
that's right. Yeah, man, that's I mean, I couldn't agree more. It's true. I mean, sometimes you have a student and it's like he's waiting or she's waiting, for you to tell them the trick, and
the trick
it's not trick. There's no
trick. Sometimes it's people kind of expect, and they really want you to tell them the secret. But there's no secret. So that's the sad part. But the thing is, you can help them and guide them, and by showing them the right things that will take them to your goals faster than if they just did like me and tried to slow down music on, that's going to take you more time. I took the long route, but I can teach you the faster route, which is still not fast.
That's right. That's completely true. That's right. Well, I also want to talk about your music. I've been enjoying your music on Spotify. I didn't use Napster for this. I use Spotify.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
yeah. And I've been enjoying your music. I think it's a kind of a modern take on rock music and
yeah,
metal. I mean, I see certain ingredients. A little bit of progressive rock, a little bit of
yeah.
even electronic, and even correct me if I'm wrong, but I even hear some kind of hip hop influences as well. You
Sometimes,
know.
yeah. So I really like to play with sounds and different. I really like synthesizers. I don't. It doesn't really show because I don't really show all my. I'm not really a great keyboard player, but I really love those sounds and trying different, textures and whatever. So it's a big
Uh-huh.
part of my sound, and not only with melodic harmony, but also with drums. So sometimes I'll just use a kit, electronic drum kit that would normally be like a pop drum kit. So like those 808s and those hi hats and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
really like these things. So I enjoy playing with that. And so, but I would not consider myself electronic, more rock than anything else. It's just rock
No,
that
of course. I mean, that's a straight ahead rock music for sure. But
yeah,
but I see there's certain elements that I
yeah,
think sound fresh, because of
yeah,
that, because you're using other things as well, and that's cool. I think that's
yeah.
cool.
Thank you. I really like to experiment, and I try to not have boundaries. Just experiment with stuff. For me, this music project is more about creating interesting sounds and interesting melodies and harmony skills, and just I can do that. I can do it, and it's not what I want to do with my music. I want to create and catchy music more than just performance. So yeah, I try all these different
I mean,
elements.
but there's also time, right, to play a
Yeah,
good solo, right?
yeah, a little bit. Just at some point during the song, you want to shred a little bit, but not too much. Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah.
that's awesome, man. Well, you're also a pretty nice, pretty good singer, man. I mean,
Oh, thank
how do
you.
you?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, did you sing ever since the beginning when you were a kid, or how did you
Yeah,
develop that?
I I really is the same way I would say as I learned the guitar, just really on my own, and I never took lessons. I don't know much about technique, about vocals, about stuff. I guess I have a good ear. I was around music for such a long time, and melodies and intervals and harmony and stuff. And I can tell you, I know all my intervals. I, I have close to perfect pitch, not perfect, but sometimes I can be spot on.
Oh wow,
So
that's
I have
awesome.
yeah, so I guess I have a really good ear, and just having a good ear really helps with pitch.
Oh yeah.
But as far as like technique, I don't have any. I just the notes come out, and if it sounds good, that's fine. But thank you, I appreciate. It.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't have a background at all. Yeah.
Do you record your own music at your place, your own studio?
Yeah.
Do you go to somewhere else?
Yeah.
You do it
I
all at
wish
home?
I wish I could show you like this. This is the back of the
Okay.
room, and there's a huge analog console with a bunch of analog gear on both sides and synthesizers.
Nice.
I would have to turn the computer over. I guess. Well, maybe it's doable somehow.
Oh, okay,
Um,
nice.
so yeah,
I
I
see.
do everything here. I like to use tape as well sometimes. So analog gear, I really like those old school analog compressors, tube microphones, and all that stuff. So I do everything myself here. Yeah,
Cool, man. That's awesome because of course that way, for instance, you're in the morning having breakfast and you have an idea and you go
I
you
just
go
cue it
right
up.
to the studio and you start working on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's a really
Man.
cool thing. But like turning on the console and everything, it takes time to heat up. But I still have my computer. I can still do stuff on my laptop. So I can
Okay.
have like both of so the kind of like a little bit of both. I can do analog, everything with gear and analog compressors and whatever. And I can also do everything in the computer. I usually like make my demos and write music on the computer, and then when it's ready, I re-record everything analog, and I like to mix on the board and stuff. Yeah.
Do you mess a lot with for instance, with the guitar sounds? Do you struggle a lot till you find the right tone, the perfect sound for each part?
Actually, no. And the reason why is because I don't go crazy with tone. I have like a very simple, very simple tone that I like and just works all the time, everywhere. I use my Plexi. Look, I use a Marshall Plexi. This one more than that one. Marshall Plexi, Tube Screamer, and that's it.
Wow.
Tube Screamer, Marshall Plexi. The clean is perfect. The distortion, well, overdrive. I can just drive the pedal, drive the Plexi. I can tone it down. It's just perfect. It's simple, simple, simple. People go crazy with tone, and they download this plugin and this new amp, and they go try this thing. Go back to the classics.
That's right.
The classics for a reason. And all those new amps, they're based on those classics.
They're modeled after those amps, for sure.
Yeah. So that I use that for almost everything. 99% of my music is done with a Marshall Plexi, and I also have a pedal board with digital. I have a Headrush, pedal board with those digital. It's kind of like the Line 6 Helix, which I use, but in the pedal board, I just grab the Plexi and the Tube Screamer, and that's what I do. If I'm going to use plugins, I'll go for the Plexi and the Tube Screamer.
So you have it pretty clear in your mind, right? The kind of sound you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's great, man. I also wanna ask you about, because I saw that you have a song with this keyboard player, Derek Serenium, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's awesome. He's got this huge resume, and you got to have him on your tracks. How is that? I mean, because he's a badass, man.
He definitely, as far as tone, he's probably one of my favorite of all time. Especially in the prog world and rock world, he's got the most badass tone. You can hear him and recognize him.
Yeah.
And I just saw that he did that. He did work on people's, because he shows it. He posted in social media. He does. I'm looking for the word here.
Remote recordings.
Yeah, remote recording or just yes, you're right. Anyways, there's a word. It'll come to me. Session. There you
Session.
Go.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
He does session work for people. He apparently, he turns down a lot of work, but he still does it. So I reached out to him, and he was interested. So I was like, "Yeah, let's do it, man. Your tone is amazing." So we did 4 songs together.
Awesome. That's great, man. That's
4 latest songs that I released were with him on keyboards. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's. I mean, I've been listening to it, and you're right. He has his own voice, on the keyboards, and you can tell it's him. And he's
and just the notes that he chooses and everything. The phrasing is also very specific. Like, I can use keyboards, I can play chords, I could do stuff. I have a B3, I can do sounds, but those solos, I'm like, I can't do that. He's the only one who can do it.
Yeah, he's a true master of his craft.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. And what about the rhythm section? Once you have the demo ready, do you call a drummer and a bass player for that, or do you do it on your own as well?
Yeah, so before I used to, like back then in my first ever recordings, I would do everything myself. So I would record everything on, electronic drum kits, and I would do the bass. But then as years passed, because the first song that I released was in 2020, so it's been already 3 years now. So almost 3 years. I met people, over Instagram, and I met people. Now I'm playing with this drummer and this bass player, the Chaos bass, the guy who plays with a 9-string bass and plays tapping. This drummer that I met through Instagram, which is also from Montreal. A great guy, Landrix, an incredible drummer. He was on tour with Dream Theater. He was in prog bands back 15 years ago. Unexpect, that's the name of the band. They split up. But they were Dream Theater. He knows the guys from Dream Theater and stuff. So amazing musicians, and they're all here in Montreal. So now we're just kind of like, we've kind of become a band. It's more like a band than a solo project. There's just always on every.
Great. That's and how's the music scene over there in Montreal? Is it good? Is it big? You guys have a lot of places to go play?
Yes and no. We have a very in like the heavy music, I would say that we have like a very big and engaged extreme metal scene. So everything that's like death metal, black metal, all that's very extreme stuff is very big here. But and also like hardcore and like more punk, whatever. It's very big, but it's harder in the prog rock, I would say, for some reason. So we have connections. We know people in the extreme metal scenes and whatever. So and there are scenes that respect the prog rock, and there's a lot of respect. It's just that there's less opportunities to perform.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. But let me tell you something, because you guys in Canada, you guys have the biggest prog band ever, in my opinion, which is Rush.
Yeah, we have Rush. Yeah. I mean, but Canada is very big, and also Canada is a big prog. We are very big prog fans. In fact, Stephen Wilson, Porcupine Tree, they started their tour in Toronto, and I saw them the following day. They were
awesome.
In Montreal, so I saw them. And it was sold out. So 8,000 people sold out both nights. So you have a very big prog. Canada is big for prog. It's just that for the smaller local bands, like I feel like it's a little bit harder than say extreme metal.
That's
Even extreme metal, people are more like they go to small shows and they support the small bands. In Canada, we love prog, but we love Rush and we love Yes and those bands. You know what I mean?
I understand. Well, it's also a more nerdy kind of music, right? So of course it's a little bit. It's gonna be a little less massive, right, than other kinds of rock. So there's that as well, right?
There's
it's like
that, once it starts and once you develop a fan base, people are very engaged. So that's the good part.
It's true. So then do you consider your project, your own music, as prog rock? It's like the main label you would put to your music?
Like if I had to label it, if I had no choice but to label it, I would.
I know we musicians, we hate labels, but if you had to choose one.
If I had to choose one, I would say modern prog, like post prog or whatever. With people, because it's not typical just 4/4 rock. It's not hard rock. It's not as simple as that. It's also not like super prog like Rush and all that. But prog is also means pushing the boundaries, so trying different things, exploring and going different routes. So that kind of if we had to put a label on my style, that's probably what I would.
Well, whatever it is, it sounds great, man. It sounds very, very nice. You released an EP, right? And then after that, you've been releasing singles, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe the format of the single is the future of music?
Yes and no. So I guess it's just because it's easier to release singles now than it's easier than it was before. And we can just release a single and we don't have to put it on a CD and print everything and go through all that process and all. It's just easier to release them, and it's good to create kind of like to maintain people's attention.
That's right.
Still believe that in the rock world and in the prog and metal and rock world, because we are fans, albums, we like the format, we enjoy. I like buying physical copies, even though I don't have anything to play it on. Even my car doesn't have a speaker. I still like to have CDs sometimes. I have vinyls. I love vinyls.
Yes.
I feel like it's part of the community. It's funny because I'll tell you that short story. I went to a record store just recently, months ago, in Montreal, and they had CDs and all that stuff, and they were all classified with different genres.
Okay.
And what struck me is that you had like the pop, they were not tables, they were like I forget the word, not a showcase or whatever, a shelf, right? A shelf.
Okay.
For pop music, it was like you had like one tiny section, and then you had the country music tiny section, and then you had all those different genres. But metal, they had like half of the store with metal CDs. So I was like, well, if they still do that, if they still make them, they still make the albums, if they still have all that room for the metal CDs, it's because people are buying it.
That's right.
They didn't have them.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, because the metal aficionado still buys CDs and records and maybe even vinyls as well. I don't know. But that's man, that's very cool. So are you maybe thinking about, like, for instance, when you have 10 singles to make a record out of that?
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So we're thinking about, because now it's kind of almost more like a band now. Because
like a band, yes.
So we're thinking about making a concept album, and so that, like, now all the songs that we're writing are kind of like following the same kind of
history
just concept and whatever. And we're thinking about releasing maybe an album next year. That would be really cool.
That's very prog.
Yeah, that is very prog.
Yeah, like a concept album, you need a concept album for sure.
Yeah. But we still have music to write. But still, just we're trying to see if we can kind of connect everything together and just put it under like one interesting concept. Something more, I don't know, something that makes you think. And anyways, we're still in that phase yet. We have yet to come up with the concept, but it's an idea.
Awesome, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. Well, I also want to ask you about because I know you have like a teaching platform, right? You have a way of teaching. I guess it's everything online. Tell me a little bit about that process.
So I have like my like signature lesson packs that I sell on my website, which is, I see it down here. I don't know if people can see it, but if you can see it, it's right there.
Yeah. Everyone can see it.
Awesome. It's my licks, my exercises. It's kind of like the new way of selling your hot list tapes, but now it's all online. So they're like my collections that people can go and buy and do on their own and whatever. And I also a course which is hosted by an online school, Tonera. It's an online music school, and the way it works is it's on a monthly basis. You pay and you get the course. It's more like you pay per month, but you get access to like my full course, and also like an app. People can download the app, and they have a chat. They can message me anytime. They can send me videos. I can give them direct feedback, and so it's really cool. It's like an in-between private one-on-one time, and just go and do it on your own. It's like an in-between, which is kind of cool. Because a limit, I do one-on-one lessons as well with Zoom and whatever, but there's a limit. At some point, I can't take more students than there are hours in the week.
Of course.
But with the other platform, it's cheaper, but I can have 100 students at the same time. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yes.
So it's a way for me to have more. A way for people. It's a cheaper alternative for people then they still have access to me as a teacher personally.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool kind of between.
Cool. Well, if anybody wants to take lessons with Thomas, so you guys have the link right there, polychuck.com.
You can check it out.
Yeah. You guys are gonna know how to shred for sure with this guy. I mean,
if you want to shred like me, you can always download Napster and try to slow down all the music. It's gonna take you 10 years, but you'll get there.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's gonna be easier if they go to your website. Huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's gonna be a little. Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, tell me also. I also want to. Well, before I forget, I want to ask you about that metal neck that you have. That guitar with the aluminum neck, man. That's a pretty cool thing, man. Tell me a little bit about that. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Probably, and it's too bad because the way, look at the bridge, I couldn't use the Vegatrem on that one, and that was heartbreaking.
Too bad, man.
But yeah, it's a company, very small company I'd never really heard of from Canada, and they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, do you want to try one of our guitars and see what you think and whatever, just no strings attached, just try it." I said, yes, like, yeah, I sent it over. And I thought it was pretty badass to have a stainless steel, but yeah, I didn't, it out. And no, when I tried it and I heard it and I'm like, oh man, this is cool. I fell in love with it big time.
Yeah.
So then I messaged them back and I said, this is a really amazing product that you guys have. I really loved it, genuinely. So we kind of developed a relationship and that's how it started. But yeah, that's how it started. It's very original. It's not a very...
Man, it looks great, but it also sounds amazing. And I was curious as to how the material affects the sound, the overall sound of the guitar. Do you notice like a big difference with a wooden neck, for instance?
It's hard to tell. I posted videos on it the first time I got it, and I showed it to people, and I played. It sounds great, that's for sure. It sounds really good, but it's not just the metal neck. It's a very high quality instrument. It's a very luxurious almost. Like everything well done. So it sounds great for that reason. Now, it would be hard for me to tell if the neck plays a big role in sound. I had people telling me in the comments, it makes no difference. And some people said, people were fighting and go and read that. It's like people go crazy, like their life, depend on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I can tell you is it feels great. It sounds great because the instrument sounds really good. The feel is really cool too because you feel like you're almost like gliding over the furniture. It just feels really, really nice, and it looks badass, and it's original. So that's enough for me to say I love that instrument. Yeah.
That's cool. What's the name of the company again?
304, like 304.
304. Okay, I'm gonna check it out because
304 guitars, and I believe it's from. And I learned it from, since I have the guitar. I think it's a grade of stainless steel.
Oh, okay.
And I may be wrong, so I'm sorry if I am, but I believe that's the reason why. I guess I should literally ask them.
No. It's stainless steel. It's the same thing with the Vegatrem. We have different grades of stainless steel, and ours is the highest grade that you can get. And it must be true. It must be the same with that guitar as well.
Yeah. That's it. So yeah, that's it. Just the high grade. Okay, so I guess I'm right. Yeah, and the Vegatrem, yeah, stainless steel. So
It's the same thing. Yeah.
it would be fantastic if I could somehow put the Vegatrem on it, but just the
Get
way
us
it is,
get us in
maybe
touch with them. Get us in touch with them, and we're gonna be able to do this. Yeah.
it would probably be the most killer guitar I've ever played in my entire life. But we'll see. We'll have to keep to investigate and see if you guys can work together. It would be great. Anyways.
Yeah, it
Say.
would be awesome, man. It would be great. Well, any other? Do you have any upcoming projects that you want to talk about, or like, are you thinking about releasing a new song or a new single with your band?
So far, uh, of what I can talk about.
Okay,
So
yeah,
far,
of course.
we're working on a song. I'm working on a song. There might be like one more single before the end of the year. Nothing as far as like lessons and stuff like that. For the remaining of the year, it's still going to be like that. I just released just recently my alternate picking mastery.
Oh, okay,
It's like a
nice.
mini lesson pack. It's only $12.99. Like it's just a short, but it's still very complete. All the exercises and the techniques that I kind of analyze my own playing and teach it in that little course. So that
Uh-huh.
just came out. I'm thinking about making one maybe next year on sweep picking.
Okay.
But we'll see. But maybe there's going to be one more single, a very 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 proggy weird time signatures kind of stuff.
Awesome.
People enjoy the I do a lot of like 7/8, 5/8, 9/8, 11/8. But in
Yes.
the next one, there's gonna be a lot of 16. So we're gonna have like 15, 16, all those very like
Wow.
crazy.
So let's take out the calculator, man, so we
Yeah,
can figure out we can figure out the time signature.
I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, but not everybody enjoys it. And some people, when they listen to music, they don't want to have to think. So it's not for those people.
Okay. Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Thomas.
Thank
It's been awesome to have you on the show. I hope you had a good time. I hope you
I had
had
a
a
great
good chat. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. It was a
And we
pleasure.
look forward to we look forward to keep watching you, on the internet. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys follow this guy because I mean he's gonna blow your minds every time you see a post.
Thank you so much.
He's
I
the real
appreciate
deal.
the opportunity, and I'm really enjoying the Vegatrem. And I enjoy having this chat with you. So thank you for having me on your show, man.
Man, we're glad to have you in the family, and
Absolutely.
whatever we can do to help you, just let us know. We're gonna be there for sure. Oh,
Awesome.
before we finish, any plans of coming to Spain, maybe by any chance?
Oh, that would be amazing. But no plans, and no plans of touring. Just because, not because I don't want to. It's just because it's more complex than we think. But definitely, when I come to Spain, I'll come and knock on your door and shake your hand and
Of
say
course.
hi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. We're gonna have a good time. If you come to
Absolutely.
Spain, we're gonna show
Yeah.
you places, and you're gonna have a good time for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. All right. Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you so
Thomas.
much. It's a pleasure.
Have a good one, and the rest of you. I mean, this has been Guitar Chat. So till next time, be happy, be safe, and play a lot your guitar. Bye,
Awesome.
Thomas.
Bye bye.